Greetings, I'm Dave, and the channel is Harley's Diners Rides, and I'm here with my lovely bride, the lovely Miss Lorelei, and we just finished our stay at Nashville, and we're getting ready to pack up tonight and head out tomorrow. But I tell you, what a whirlwind of 3 days at Nashville, and I'm going to turn it over to Lori. This is day 14 of our trip. Unfortunately, after this, it's head home. Okay, so Lori, give us an idea of what's happened here in Nashville.
Well, I had to take some notes again because there was just so much, and there was just some key points I wanted to make sure that I shared. So we just spent 3 days in Nashville to end our country tour of 2024. So first of all, we're staying in the Nashville KOA, and it is amazing. They have cable, they have paved sites, they have a beautiful pool and a hot tub. And then in some of the sites, they also have a large iron-gated dog run for people. So, I mean, if you wanted to bring your pet, I think that's amazing. It also accommodates camping, right? It has cabins and a shuttle service to downtown. And it also has many restaurants that are very local and very close, and a lot of fun things for the kids to do here, right? From, what's that game with the board? Pickleball and all different things for kids to do.
Yeah, or grown-ups. Grown-ups play pickleball
5-star
too.
here for sure.
Yeah,
I mean, just a really nice, quiet, and beautiful place.
Hot. Today it reached 35 degrees.
Yeah, 35, 36.
35, 36 degrees Celsius. It was, stay in the air conditioning or stay in the pool, one or the other.
And see where we end up. If this is going to be round one, take one. Take two for day 2. So my sister said, well, listen, you can't go to Nashville without starting with the Ryman. So we started there, and the history is absolutely incredible. And, it was built in 1892, right? And it was first called the Union Gospel Tabernacle, and it was built by Thomas Ryan for Reverend P. Jones to host revivals. So that's how it started. It was nicknamed the Mother Church of Country Music, and it was also home of WSM, which is the radio station, Grand Ole Opry, from 1943 to 1974. And if it was really from the ingenuity, I would say, of a very brave woman, Elsie Neff, who kept it going through all of these times as it went through wars, it went through change in genre, it went through so many changes up and down, and she kept it profitable all while she was managing it. Yeah. So, kudos to her. So we took a VIP tour, and there were so many artifacts from Jerry Lee Lewis to Johnny and June, Ryman guitars also. So we realized from the original pews, because again this was a church, from the original pews they also built, was it 243 guitars out of that oak. Now they're not playable. I mean, they're made to look.
They're decorative.
But they were awarded to many people, and what's really funny is they can only find 2 of them worldwide right now, and we got to see one of them.
Keith Urban has one.
Yep, and we got to see the second one.
And the second one is in the VIP lounge.
That was amazing. So the seats were church pews, and they're still there today with all the original oak. We stepped out on stage and we had a picture and belted out some tunes. We saw all the backstage, all the star rooms that they named after many inductees, such as Johnny and June room, Dolly and Porter room, Women of Country room, the Minnie Pearl room, just to name a few. We also learned the stories about Hank Williams and about his disease and what kind of happened to him. Our tour guide was amazing. We received so many tidbits, right?
right? His name was Rich.
Rich, yeah,
Yep.
he was fantastic. And then what was really also interesting were all the side entrances, right? And where our Rich told us that like people like Willie Nelson would like stream out of there and have a few steps straight into the bar. So some of the restaurants there were Legends, Tootsie's, and so some very funny stories with respect to that. But it was also graced by so many stars, right? So, and all of their memorabilia were there. So I can't even do justice to name them all, but I'll name a few. Miley Cyrus, Emmylou Harris, Keith Urban, Carol Burnett. I did not know Carol Burnett played there, so that was amazing. Luke Combs, Chet Atkins, Kitty Wells, Charlie Pride, Minnie Pearl, Dolly Parton, B.B. King, Johnny Cash, Leonard Skinner was also another surprise for me, and Diana Ross.
Oh, and not to mention Bob Hope.
It was just incredible.
Yep.
I mean, it was comedy. It birthed rock and roll. It was country through many facets, and it was just amazing. So then from there, we then went over to a restaurant across the road called 60 Vines, and we had a little bit of Caesar salad,
Pizza.
gluten-free cauliflower crust pizza
Yeah.
with broccoli on it, which
Broccoli.
Dave liked that. You liked it.
It was very good. I have to
Yeah.
admit, it
And
was
then
very
we drank some local wines, and we had a really great time
Yep.
there. So now we're off to our Grand Ole Opry backstage tour. So we were introduced to the history and the clips of many of the greats. Again, Kitty Wells, George Jones, Porter Wagner, Dolly, Alan Jackson, Vince Gill, and it was orated by Garth Brooks and Trisha.
And Trisha Yearwood.
Mhm. And the ceiling had, they called it the $90,000 ceiling because it had all these guitars, which were really creative, right, as an ornament. We saw all the star entrances. We saw the backstage, and again, we were orated a story by Brad Paisley, and he talked about the importance of being inducted in, and how you're asked when you're there, and your obligation to help out and to go back so many times a year as part of that induction. So he kind of explained all that to us, and we got to see quite a few people get they're asked
Their
to
award.
be inducted,
Yeah.
and so that was really interesting to see some of that. So they also had where your mails. They made a joke about
Oh, the
saying,
post office.
"Do you know where to send, your letters to Santa Claus?" And we said, "Well, of course, it's the North Pole." Similarly, Grand Ole Opry has a post office, and anyone who's inducted and still alive has a mailbox there, and they actually take in hundreds and thousands of fan letters, and they get them to the stars. So we looked at number 163, which was absolutely full, and that was Dolly Parton's, right? And then everybody's name who is inducted had their name in a gold plate.
Screwed to the wall.
Yep. And we saw memorabilia from Dolly and others. And we got into all of these dressing rooms. It's a little bit different at the Ryman. We could go in, but we weren't allowed to take any pictures, right? But in this case, we got to go in and snap some pictures at the Grand Ole Opry. So we saw the Stars and Stripes room, the Now That's Funny room, the Friends and Neighbors room, Welcome Family room, Cousins Minnie room, right, after Minnie Pearl. So, and that's my mom's maiden name, and all my cousins and family, like my uncle and aunt, and that's our family name. So it was really interesting to see the Cousin Minnie name. And it all begins with a song, Women of Country, the Wagon Master, right, and Mr. Roy room, Little Jimmy room, and the Bluegrass room. And then we also saw pictures of presidents who attended, and that was Reagan and Nixon.
Nixon, yeah.
Yep. And then they brought the circle, the historical floor from the Ryman, right over to the Grand Ole Opry, and they inlaid that onto the stage. And then what they told us is absolutely everybody looks at that as hallowed ground, and that's where the new performers sing from. They typically touch it, kind of pray to it, talk to it. and really are in awe and respect of it, right?
It's 6 feet in diameter.
It
And is positioned where the lead singer would sing to the audience.
And then what we got to do actually is we got to then also go all the backstage, see all the working equipment, and we also got to touch that circle, get a picture from that circle.
Yeah. I've got to tell you about the picture. So, people were going up in couples. And it came to our turn. And as I was going to step with Lori towards the circle, her hand came up, stopped me, said, I want my own picture with the microphone. So she went on, got her picture, and then I was invited to join her for the second picture.
It was still amazing.
It is.
It was very amazing. And then, and so we got to touch and feel and see and do all of that too. It was absolutely amazing. The acoustics, the look and feel. But then we went to the show that night as well. And here's who we heard. So we went to the show that night, which was so much fun. But we saw, and I'm going to read it because a lot of these names are new to me, and I didn't know all of them. Rhonda Vincent, George Burge, Jenny Lewis, Charlie McCoy, Shauna Thompson, Gary Mule Deer, Paul McDonald, and Crystal Gale, which, of course, Crystal Gale is the sister of Loretta Lynn. So she ended the night and sang some songs, and all I can say is it was absolutely amazing, and we left there on such a high. So,
and that was all Thursday.
I know, and I actually think because I got that under 20 minutes, which you say to keep to, I think maybe I can go into day 2.
Oh, we'll make them wait for day 2.
No, let's do it.
Okay.
Let's go.
So, we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back with day 2.
Friday today.
Which is today.
Yeah.
All right?
Okay.